the ticket.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essig.
Welcome in to the Fitness Fanatics. It is Sunday, August 6th, and our Husker countdown. We are down to 25 days until the 2023 season kicks off. Spent a little bit of time yesterday. I watched the Big Ten Network. They were at the camp. Harrison, did you see that at all?
Sorry, I was really paying attention to the mic there for a sec. They were really loud when we started off the game. But anyway, say that again. Sorry, I was producing. I was doing my job.
Nicole's probably thinking, "Welcome to my life."
No, I hit my nose really hard with the headphones. So I'm crying right now.
Oh my gosh, we're off to an amazing start here on the show.
I might have a black eye tomorrow. It was traumatic.
We might have to go clip that and watch the replay later.
Would you hit your eye?
My nose, like the headset, just clocked
Oh.
the nose. It hurt.
Hopefully we have that on video that we could go find that.
So this sounds mean, but hopefully I took the banner down fast enough. All right, well, we got a clip. Not the clip I was thinking of, but
so the BTN was at the Nebraska camp Friday.
Yes.
Did you happen to see that? It was on pretty much all day yesterday.
Yeah, I was looking at it.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, just bits and pieces.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't sit through the whole thing.
I was really upset because I had it set up to record on Friday, like 3 different times, because I'm like, okay, I don't want to miss this. And then every time it wasn't the actual camp show. It was them talking about Oregon and Washington.
Yeah, that kind of took over everything.
I'm just like, come on, where is I sit down yesterday, getting ready to eat lunch. I hit play and it's not the show. And I'm like, I was just really irritated.
He was.
And then I'm like, okay, well, also what was on was the 2022 Iowa-Nebraska game. I'm
I
like,
gotta watch that
well,
one.
I'm going to watch this instead. I hit play. They're talking Oregon and Washington. I was really complaining.
And who came to the rescue?
Then we pulled it up on YouTube and
who did?
You did.
Me. Yeah.
So Nicole found it on YouTube, and so we ate our lunch and we watched the replay of the 2022 Iowa-Nebraska game because I was practically blacked out in the fourth quarter. So I don't really remember what was transpiring in that game because my anxiety was just at an all-time high.
I had forgotten too because I was like, how, as you're watching it, and the score is so offset that you're like, how were we worried we weren't going to win this? Like, I had forgotten how bad it the fourth quarter was, and then we still won. But
it was bad.
I know. It's like, how was this close?
It was literally like trying to do an exorcism.
It was bad.
Like at the end of the game, and we had dropped 2 interceptions right in Quentin Newsom's hands. That could have ended the game both times, and then we had a fumble. It's just you could just feel
I felt like the exact replay was going to
feel the momentum going. And then I was like, I was taking pictures and like sending them to Iowa fans and stuff.
During the game,
getting real worried.
Yesterday.
Yesterday you were.
Yesterday, yes. Remember this? It was great. It was so fun.
You better hope we get 2 in a row now.
That was a
They're
fun
going to be
day.
looking to get you back.
Oh,
sure.
I went through 7 years of that.
That's true. That's
so
fair.
they can handle a few little jabs here and there. So, all right. Well,
Okay.
we're going to shout out to our sponsor, Integrative Life Choices. Fitness Fanatics is sponsored by ILC. ILC is hiring direct support professionals all over the state of Nebraska, full-time, part-time, days, evenings, and weekends. If you're interested, you can apply at ilc.net/career. Direct support professionals work to ensure a meaningful life for the people they support. They work to support people in achieving their hopes and dreams. So big shout out to ILC. If you want to get a hold of us today, you can check us out. We have a bunch of different options on the Starter Heyman live stream. You can watch our live stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo channel 951. So we're joined in studio for this first segment by Pete Ferguson. The last 90 minutes we're flying solo, so we want a lot of interaction from our listeners today. So
We did have someone text in.
Yeah, someone asked.
Already?
Well, from Brad, who won the poker hand this week. So I'm not sure.
They already wanted
Right.
to know.
Brad.
The
Brad
fitness
Bear.
challenge poker
Yes.
hand, not the
Yeah.
personal one.
Okay.
There's been
Okay.
some
So
issues
Pete
with
said-
Iowa State and some other places.
Yeah.
Let's be
Iowa,
clear. It's the
Iowa.
Farrell's Fitness Challenge.
Yeah, no, he's in this challenge too.
I did not see that text. Maybe
It's not a text.
It's on
commented
streaming.
my
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
On Facebook.
Well, Brad, we will be announcing that a
Right
little
after
bit.
the show.
Yeah,
We're
we
gonna
would
go
have done it yesterday, but Nicole forgot the cards at the gym. She didn't bring them home.
And then we went to the gym and we would have done it, but Jeff's feet were sweating, so we had to leave. We couldn't make the video because he was sweating.
it was hot. We don't have the air on you.
Harrison, these are grown folks' problems right here.
I don't know what's going on
He's
for
like,
this
when
first
does this
segment.
happen? Harrison, about 38 stuff just start happening. I feet sweat, palms here. 20 years hoops over. It's just a hot mess.
So- When I'm wearing flip flops, I don't. My bottom of my feet sweat. It starts to get dangerous when you're walking, right?
Okay.
I've got the two scholars that just came in and they was like, "Oh, I can't wait! I'm gonna listen on the way home." But now they're just
All
like,
right, we gotta
"What-
get back on
what
track."
happened?"
So Brad was referencing our fit challenge we're doing right now, and we'll make a video and we'll post it after the show. We're going right up to Meadow Lane.
They're probably like, they're letting these people on the
I
radio.
know. Oh,
Dad, what's gonna happen to me? We need to have another talk. You lied. You
Oh.
said life gets better.
we are keeping it real. Keeping it real.
All right.
Okay.
So Pete is joining us here this first segment. So he texted us this morning. I think he needs a little counseling.
Give me a little
Hey, so
pep
no,
talk.
the text was very honest. I'm gonna be honest. I said, "Hey, I knew you guys had, like I said, no guests. I had seen you all week because I went Monday and then I was not there."
Yeah, we noticed your one card.
Yeah,
hand.
my well, I was disappointed. I did 3 sets of things. I chose 3 cards, obviously, and then she's like, "Yeah, he's not winning." Had some other engagements. I
Yeah.
did in the text say, "I know I'm not special."
Yeah.
But had some PD and some other things.
Which
that
is
took care of.
fine. There's
But
nothing wrong
that
with that.
being
That's
said,
fine.
one of the things that I take away even from the challenge, but also after the challenge, is staying consistent and doing something. And so I have stayed at post challenge numbers,
Oh,
which
good.
I've actually been. I spiked up a little bit, or spiked up, not a lot, but a little bit afterwards. Went on vacation, came back, started the challenge.
I mean, do you do vacation right if you don't spike up a
I,
little?
I don't really do vacation, and so
Right.
like with that happening, there
It
were
was a long
2
time
anomalies.
coming.
Yeah. But I did work out every vacation and pulled up patrol. But part of it was just shouting out you all. Done a lot of things just in the past. Have been somebody that I will say I was, did play athletics in high school. I've always, college, you had the opportunity to do that as well. Afterwards, lifted and, was able to play sports, but kind of over the last, 6-8 years, ebbed and flowed. And so got involved with you all kind of through the station. The 10-week was one of those things that kind of pushed me in a little different way. I told people I tapped out the first class. Crystal was teaching. Crystal was the trainer at Southwest High School.
Yep.
And got in there. I think some of it was a little bit anxiety. Some of it
Probably.
was like, I can do this. Missed one day during the challenge. So one physical day, I did everything else. And to be honest, it wasn't rocket science.
Right.
I'm gonna just be raw. It was, I went at 5 a.m. and it was also in some ways mindless. And I don't mean that again in a negative way. I didn't have to sit there and bring a sheet or a computer or lay out everything. It was boom, do it, follow these instructions, even though I don't do it always right. And if Joan's listening,
Right.
she corrects me and like, hey, we're doing left. I'm like, I'm doing right. I'll switch it up the next time. I do appreciate
You're in
her.
the
She saves the
back.
bag,
We
but I'm
don't-
just like,
Yeah.
you switch up the leg on the other one.
Yep.
But in a lot of ways, and I've not told this to you. So my dad passed at 58. And so I was not where I needed to be weight wise, but also had some numbers when you go to your physical that weren't where they needed to be, diabetic, and so come back in 6 months, and it kind of put off this stuff, and it was kind of on the tail end of that.
Yeah, you had
6 months.
kind of told me that at the end, like you were told come back in 6 months. And you still waited 3 more months
and
before you did it.
I'm like, well, I'm a freak of nature.
That does not make you special.
Yeah,
That's what you're not special means. That makes you totally normal. That's what we do. Plus, time goes by so fast.
Yeah.
You didn't have an intention of waiting 3 months. You
Right.
had an intention of like, okay, I'm going to do something, and then you wake up one day and 3 months has passed. Like
and that's exactly
life.
what happened.
Right? Yeah,
that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And so within that span of 10 weeks, I'll be honest, probably the majority within that span of 10 weeks got my numbers to where, I didn't have to do some insulin things. I mean, I still have to watch it,
Sure.
and I'm still very cognizant of it. But the reality was of just, at my 50th birthday, was like, man, like my dad, great man, had 8 years past this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying this is going to starve off or give me any additional years, but when I went on vacation, I was doing hiking and doing some things that I don't think I would have done if not involved with you all, is not as disciplined. And so just, really wanted to share that for people that are looking for something. I love what you always say, just do something.
Yeah.
If it's not Farrell's or whatever else, and taking stuff off YouTube, do
There's
something.
so many things you can do.
Yeah.
And that's why we just say just walking is so helpful, and just create a routine and stay consistent with that routine. And then you'll build confidence to think like, okay, well, now what's next? What more can I do? And maybe it takes you 6 months to get to that point. Maybe it takes you 2 years to get to that point. Pete was giving us a hard time this morning because he was texting us about being on the show. He's like, I know you guys are probably in the middle of a 10-mile run.
Yeah.
Well, I was finishing up an 8-mile run, actually. So not 10.
Sorry, I was too off.
Yeah, I know. So I was finishing up an 8-mile run when you texted. But the thing is, like when I did Farrell's, like I never did it with the intention of being a runner. I was not a runner before Farrell's. And it took me 2 years of doing Farrell's before I thought, maybe I should try running. Maybe I won't hate it. It took me 2 years to get to that point. And now we get up and we run on Sundays, and it's just part of a kind of the routine in the summer. But it didn't happen overnight. I think that's what people expect to see results overnight. You expect to see like a return on that investment. It's not going to come overnight. So it's good that you can continue to like see how you go on vacation and you can be more active. Like that counts too. If you're usually taking 10,000 steps, then you go on vacation and you're taking 15, 20,000 steps. That's doing something and sometimes for people, vacation is doing nothing, just, you don't do that stuff. You just sit around and relax, which is fine, but we like to be active and
I like to eat like it's my last days on earth.
On vacation.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It was just portion control. I mean, it was just like, okay, finding whatever. And people would say, oh man, I didn't realize that. And it's like I say, baggy clothes hide a lot. And so for me, clothes fit differently, but just also physically and mentally, I'm just going to be very, I was getting some headaches, and, I was just, I was tired in a different way, and I'm valuing sleep and water. Again, far from perfect. I mean, you said running. I ran 4 marathons. That was as a challenge or whatever else. And I remember kids saying, hey, good job, runner. And I'm like, I don't know who you're looking at. I'm 6'3", 250 rolling down here on these streets. I am not a runner, but I'm not physically able to kind of do that at that length and duration anymore. And so what I've liked about what you all have offered is it provides challenge for those that want the challenge, which I still like that competitiveness. It provides consistency, but it also provides community. And so when you look at, to me, those 3 C's, that those are things that I think absolutely important to have. And you all have offered that for me and for so many others. And so just wanted to publicly like share that appreciation, but also just encourage others. Be honest, as a Black male, disproportionately, there's some things that impact, us and health wise. And so when you talked about, hey, Gate 6 months, took 3 to not go in, and then honestly during COVID, not going, that's not okay.
Right.
That's not smart. And so really want to just make sure, like, I'd love your demographics, but if there's individuals out there that are looking for those opportunities, AD has been a big supporter. You've got Des Moines, but love seeing just that community of individuals. Sometimes we don't see that as a place for us, and it really is. It's a place for community to be healthy, to be challenged. And so thank you for that. And I just want to put that shout out for people that are looking for something. You all definitely have a place.
So before Farrell's, like, what was kind of your morning routine? Because when you come in the morning, you're grumpy a little bit when you first walk in the door. You're not always happy to be there.
I'm somewhat on the pleasant side, I'd like to say.
Me? Kitten?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I wouldn't
grumpy?
say you're grumpy.
Okay.
You're tired, like as we all are. But by the time you leave, you're fired up. You're happy. You're joking. You're talking to people. So, like, what before Farrell's? What was your morning like? Like, how did it take you longer to get going? And
so people who know me, like, my sleep pattern is a hot mess, and it's been that way from college. And so I'm the type that I would go to bed at like 11:30, midnight, maybe 1 a.m. and be up at 3 sending emails and doing things. So literally, like, it was so inconsistent. It was that way in college. I'd get up early and write a paper, some procrastination or whatever else. So for me, it's taken, like, I have to leave at 4. The Yankee Ridge is about 25. I've gotten there in 15. Sorry, State Patrol.
Right.
But it's getting that sleep pattern right and the eating. And so for me, that's impacted the morning. That's still not perfect. And so I can tell I do get energized doing the workout, and once I'm in it, I'm good. But like I'm more tired than I should be the morning, because there's times that I'm not following the sleep pattern of going to sleep when I need to. And that's just going to be a work in progress.
Well, and that's where consistency comes in too, because when you're coming to class consistently, then it should be harder to stay up later, because you should be tired. Right. And so that should be forcing you a little bit into going to bed a little bit earlier instead of like pushing off your morning workout, which, you were like, I only came 1 day last week, but you had stuff going on. That's life. That's fine. But that's different from just making that conscious decision in the morning when the alarm goes off and being like, no, for no reason.
And there's only been a few, there's been less times of that where I've been stupid. Like, I knew when I came home, I was putting my head down, I'd fall asleep because I was tired from the workout or the day, but I'd set an alarm for 10:30 p.m. to get up and do work.
Oh my gosh.
And then 1:30 if I didn't get up at the 10:30 to do work. And so the difference between the challenges, I've been doing that. And that's disrupting my sleep pattern, and I know I need to stop doing that. Instead of like, I'm better off going to sleep if I can go to sleep at 10:30, getting the other stuff done, and then get quality sleep, and then I'll be more pleasant in the morning when I come
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just you're always not grumpy, but you're just not peaked. You're not peaked right away when you walk in the door.
I'm Peter when I come in, and I'm Peter when I come in at 5, and then I'm Pete when I leave.
By the time you leave, you're just talking to everybody. That classic Pete laugh is going, but not when you don't walk in the door like that.
Well, most people aren't walking in the door cheery,
especially that
4 or
early.
5 in the morning.
You're stumbling over to your bag, and you're like, I'm not awake yet, but I'm about to be.
That's why I like the down box classes so much, because those kids come in, they're just peeking in the window, they're smiling, they're fired up to see us, to see the people they're going to work out with, and the adults don't really come in like that.
No, they don't have the twinkle. It's not the same
No,
twinkle.
They're not the twinkle in their eye, seeing the gym, excitement.
I get to see my friends
Yeah.
and I get to punch the bag.
I
So.
mean, some might have that feeling, but
I think the nice thing is though, but only one person needs to really be on at that time
That's
in
true.
the morning. It
Yeah.
should be an instructor.
yes.
Right.
And so
Yeah,
I'm the
but
type
we
of person.
feed off of you guys too. Sometimes it can be tough.
I don't.
I was like, obviously, if
annoying
you've not been to
24/7.
Jeff's, like there's been somebody, I was in the back one time and somebody was like, dude, tone it down. Like, tone it down. Like Jeff will sing. I mean, he'll dance. Like all of a sudden he'll be like, we're going to run. You're the only class. They're like, okay, we'll move the balls to the side. We're going to run. And I'm like, and you just hear everybody. I mean, so I appreciate
is
your
true.
interaction. It is like he's clueless about whoever else is in the room. It
That
is
is
his
true.
time.
That's
Well,
very
that's
true.
funny.
when people ask me how I could be so cheery at 4 a.m. and I'm just like, because that's my job. Like,
Right.
if I was in here just,
It's a lot easier
Well,
for us to
hey,
say that because
guys.
this is our job.
oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I got to get them pumped up. So that's my job.
But
To be
you care.
excited at 4 o'clock in the
That is
morning.
true.
But you care. I mean, you can say it's your job, but this is the thing is like we have people in all sorts of professions that it's their job and they don't do
Yeah.
it well.
That's
Yeah.
true.
They're proficient at it.
Right.
They're really, really good, but don't discount yourself. Like
Yeah.
you all care a different way. Like I came to a 6 o'clock class one time and I don't remember the instructor, but she's like, you're cheating on us now. Because I
Right.
didn't come to the 5 and I felt like shamed and I was like, okay, I'm coming back at 5. Like
Yeah.
she didn't have to say that.
Right.
They didn't have to
She was
recognize me.
recognizing that you were still missing
Yes.
or making the effort, but
Effort.
like still being a little disappointed.
Yeah, like there was
that
some
you weren't
owner. Yeah,
in her class.
yeah, there was some ownership. She wanted
Yeah.
to see my grumpy face at
Right.
5 a.m.
We wanted to see the transformation
Yeah.
in the morning. Although I don't teach at 5 a.m. very often, but I do teach at 5 a.m. tomorrow at Yankee Ridge if that entices you to come to class in the morning.
I am
But-
planning on
Maybe
I'm
it-
planning on seeing
right.
you.
Yeah. So I don't see. I'm gonna have to watch tomorrow. I'll have to watch.
I'm gonna come in.
The
I'm gonna come in
clock.
as Pete tomorrow. Right?
No.
Not as Peter.
We'll
I'm gonna
see,
be
we'll
like,
see.
I'm
He's
gonna
gonna
high
be
five.
clapping. Just
Yeah.
let's go.
Shoot, I'm gonna high five the bags.
We'll
Yes,
see.
yes.
We'll see. But I'll watch the clock to see when the change, where you shift over.
It's
from-
usually
and it's
probably
not even
about-
grumpy. You're just quiet and reserved, and
I-
right when
I'm-
you walk in the door.
I'm getting myself composed
Okay.
for what is
That's your
about.
game
What?
face.
Yeah, it's for what is about to happen.
Okay.
He's focused, right? When Bud Crawford came out for his last fight, you think he was like
Sitting there
all
high fiving
hey,
everybody,
oh,
like,
hi,
"Hey, we're gonna
guys."
get paid. We're gonna have a
No.
great day.
No.
How you doing?"
He was
No.
laser focused.
Yeah.
And he
That's
looked
what I love about
grumpy.
the program, though, because it does. It's it wakes you up. It's your wake up. That's how I wake up. I like
Mhm.
working out first thing in the morning because it wakes me up. It's how I become me after my workout. So
Yeah.
I like that. And also, we haven't talked about and haven't given Pete the credit or the shout out that he
Credit?
was actually in the top 3. You were in the top 3 of your session.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finished in the top 3. I don't think we talked about that at all because we were gone that show.
Yeah, we hit the road.
Yeah. So
Well, I think again,
Congrats,
well,
top
thank
3.
you, but congratulations to everybody that was there. I mean, Mark, obviously we've talked about that, and I know Mark had some family components, and
Yep.
and he was our coach during that time, and I have to say, like, it just, I hope he gave us just as much energy, but I hope we
Oh, yeah.
provided him, that at that same time, all the individuals that were in, not just that 5 a.m. session, but just across,
Mhm.
Yankee Hill. I remember coming to that session and that was a surprise to me.
Yeah.
But seeing not just a transformation, but just seeing the investment, the confidence, the enjoyment of everybody having
Mhm.
with themselves. But then many of them are continuing.
Yeah.
And I think that was the piece of, coming back where they were like, "Hey, glad you're here,
Mhm.
glad you're back." And then able to do the fit challenge and being called a fit member.
Yep.
That's awesome. We need shirts.
I
I
know.
want fit member shirts. I want, Pete as
Yeah.
a fit member shirt. But that was a great it was a great experience as a jump start. It
Mhm.
wasn't the
Good.
end for all. And I think sometimes you all talk about that. And for those 10 weekers now, they want it to be the end for all. Like at the end, no, that's either a start or it's a continuation of things that you've already been doing. It's not, if you do that as just the end for all, I tell people not to do it.
Right. I agree. We don't want people to just commit to 10 weeks and then go right back to the habits that got them, because you're not gonna get the benefit. And you don't have to continue with barrels, but it's like, do the 10 weeks, let that be the start of creating those habits and carving out that time for yourself and being active for 30, 45, 60 minutes a day, and, prioritizing sleep and eating more vegetables. And that you can't just do that in 10 weeks and then stop and expect to keep
winning $1,000. I think you'd give people the $1,000 and just say, hey, I'd rather have you take this and invest this, $250 a month in a gym that you're going to go on a regular basis, and say, hey, you won this, and in 6 weeks you see him go right back. Like that's almost the worst testimony.
It is. That's why I say I wish we didn't give out $1,000.
Whoa.
Right. I know. Yeah. I know.
I'm not trying to kill the challenge here.
Yeah.
Everybody would be like,
we are.
Killed our challenge.
But I say, $1,000 is day changing. Like, you can have a good day with an extra $1,000. Like, you can go do some fun stuff.
I can stretch it out.
Yeah,
Yeah. But we are hoping that what you're doing within our program is going to be life changing. That's worth more than $1,000. Like, that's the trade off. So we give away $1,000 to the best transformation every session. That's not going away. But Lance Farrell is famous for saying, if you think that you have a chance to win, you already have. Like, if you already think you have a chance, then you already have in your mind. You should think that you already are a winner, just for completing and, being happy with your changes and stuff. So, which we'll kind of talk about that later, because we have 5-week testing for our newbies coming up this week.
Yeah. So we'll talk about later in the show, managing expectations. And so we got a lot to cover. So if you're out there and you have any questions for us, anything you need help with, you're struggling with, any wins for the week, we'll talk about those too. So we got 90 minutes with us, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Thanks, Pete.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices. At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just the professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.3333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, flip it, cuff it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down. Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
I wanted to quit for so long, but I didn't know where to start.
I was afraid of what people would think, but then I found the right support to start my recovery journey. 1 in 14 Americans reports experiencing a substance use disorder, a treatable medical condition. Treatment can take many forms, so there are a variety of options to explore and find the one that works best for you. Recovery from drug addiction is possible.
Paid for by the CDC, sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Proud to be voted Best Vape Shop.
Generation V
is thrilled to announce our newest location is now open at 27th and Superior.
Generation V.
Explore with the largest selection of vape, Delta 8, Kratom, all your favorite brands of disposables, e-liquid, and premium THCA flower.
Generation V.
We'll guide you through our extensive collection to help you find the perfect fit.
Generation V.
With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, Seward, York, Kearney, and Beatrice. Visit our newest store now open at 27th and Superior in Lincoln. GenerationV.com. E-cigs contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Hey, you got any gum?
Yeah, check my backpack.
What's this?
Oh, that's naloxone. It can reverse an opioid overdose. I decided to always keep it on after my friend almost died. It saved his life.
I'm so sorry. That makes me want to have it with me too.
You totally should. Check the pharmacy. It was actually really easy to get and it's easy to use.
I will. Thanks.
Paid for by the CDC, sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in to Fitness Fanatics. Pete has left the building. Now it's
sound either.
Okay, for all those listening, say if you can't hear us, please say something or say if it's better. We should be good now. I think
Okay.
I know what happened.
Okay. Sorry.
Nope, good call.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Sorry to interrupt. Jeff.
Oh no, I was just we want to make sure people can hear, obviously.
Okay, I can hear it now.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Brad.
Thank you
Thanks,
for
Brad.
mentioning that, Brad.
Mm-hmm. There we go, he said. Okay.
Thank you to the listeners. And again, if you guys want to join the show, 402-464-5685, or catch us on the streams, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Aldo, Channel 951. You guys can put your input in there. And shout out Brad.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So anyway, I got to march on the field with my son, which is pretty cool. And
They have never done that before. I mean, since we've been
yeah,
the
so you
3
did
years
the
he's been in
affinity
marching.
drill.
yes, and of course I nailed it. I mean, it's like
You
I never
really
lost
did.
a step
You
after
really did.
27 years since I've been marching on a field. It was just, it was just perfect. Like you watch our steps, my steps, Ben's steps, we're in just perfect alignment as we're left, right. So,
It was pretty funny.
and then the adults around me were just total train wrecks.
You were taking it very seriously too.
Oh, absolutely.
I know. You were taking it very seriously. A lot of the, my daughter and I, or Katie and I, were like, there's no way we would have just completely bombed it, like gone the wrong direction, done. Because I mean, you guys had to do these like the sliding side steps where you have to like turn your hips but keep your shoulders squared up, and so Ben was out there directing you.
Yeah, he was teaching me
Yeah,
how to do
he
it.
did a good job of that.
Is what I'm hearing.
Well,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think
Yeah.
once they review the tape, that the band director might actually ask me to come help.
I have a
Should
video
have offered
of
him
it.
when he was
That's
coming
how
up.
good I was.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah, it
put
was
it on
awesome.
our Instagram story.
But I did
Your
parades
infinity
and
drill.
yeah, marched in parades and stuff like that. When I was in high school, when I went to Waukee, which is in West Des Moines, and the coolest thing that we got at parade that we marched in was the Pella Tulip Festival.
Okay.
Which I mean,
Yeah.
doesn't really mean much to
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Go
But then
whoosh.
Yeah. Okay.
last year,
What? You don't know anything about the Pella Tulip?
Tula Festival.
last year I'm watching the Rose Bowl parade, and all of a sudden here comes the Waukee High School marching band
No way.
Yeah.
on the Rose Bowl parade. So I'm texting my sisters who both were in marching
Yeah.
band at Waukee, and I was like, "Wait a minute, we only got to go to
That's cool.
Pella, which was an hour from Waukee." I mean,
Man, I think marching bands, which I think that should be really cool. If you were like good at it, I don't know
Yeah.
if I could ever do it. I wouldn't want to play the trombone if I was in it either.
So technical, like it is stressful to
Oh,
watch.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I love watching those at halftime.
I do
I
too.
love seeing what they throw out
Yeah.
there. Every now and then, it's really impressive. When they, what was one of my favorite one? I think they had the stick man kicking a field goal.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was incredible.
I know.
It was
All
fluid.
while they're playing an instrument
Yeah,
too.
and
Like
it sounds great.
yeah. It's
well,
cool.
and you have
We
to
like it.
memorize the music.
Mhm.
So you're not looking at music while you're playing. So you have to memorize the entire song and then know when to move, step, where to go. I mean, it's pretty challenging. At my school, when we did the state competition, we came after there was a school, Bondurant Farrar. And
that
they-
was one of our rivals, I think, that I would just or would it have been?
Yeah, I think you might have played them. So they were just a small school kind of by Altoona. Well,
I
when
didn't
they
know it was Bondurant.
yeah, when they
That's funny.
performed, they were always right before Waukee. So the judges were watching this group, and they would have their music
Mhm.
on their instruments, which you're not supposed to
Taxed.
have. And then when they were supposed to move to the next formation, they would blow a whistle. Like somebody with one of the drum majors would blow a whistle. So they were using their music. They weren't sure when to move. And then when we got up there, I mean, we just looked like
Pros.
the greatest marching band in the history of marching bands. So we always got like 1 ratings. And I really think is because the judges were like, "Are you kidding me right now with this band?" And then Waukee gets up there and we have no music. We know when to move, know where to go. And we were just like, it was pretty cool. So it brought me back
Mhm.
to when I was young.
I didn't realize you enjoyed marching band that much.
Well,
Well,
you don't get accolades for marching band.
I was good at band.
Yeah.
I know, which kind of made me like think like, it'd be cool you get a scholarship in that, and you just go.
Oh, I wasn't that good.
Oh, okay.
No.
You weren't in that range.
No, I wasn't that good. But I
Okay.
was good. I played for 7 years. I played from 6th grade all the way until I
okay.
graduated high school. So it was fun.
We had your trombone for a long time.
Was
I
that the
know.
only instrument you played?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I
And
tried to play the French horn for a little bit. Could not figure that out.
my sister
Tough.
played trumpet and French horn.
Oh, she played the French horn.
Mhm.
That's a hard one. I remember trying to test that one out. Do you play any instruments, Nicole?
No, I played the clarinette
Clarinet.
in junior high. Very short amount of time.
brief run.
Yeah.
of it.
Everything
Yes.
that she's done has been a short time. Soccer, very short, brief stints.
I played for the whole season of soccer.
Did you play volleyball?
Yeah, but that was like
Short
in
run.
junior high. I was
Short
like,
run.
yeah, that's when you're practicing to figure out if you're good at anything.
Couple practices.
Well, how big was your class?
Very small. My
Oh, now you're
right.
because now I was trying to give you
No.
an out.
No. I graduated with 98 people in my class, and so in junior high it was probably about the same. And I think we still had I was on a D team or something.
Okay.
Like, I wasn't good. Like I have no claim to be good at sports because I am athletic, but I'm not competitive. Like volleyball, I'm never diving for that ball. There's no part of me that's trying to dive. I tried basketball because my grandma was actually a great basketball player
Oh,
when
really?
she was in high school. Like she was like a star basketball player, but I didn't really appreciate that enough to like give it my all. So I did try basketball, but
I feel like basketball is one of those ones too where it's like if you don't start early, it's
Yeah.
really hard.
It is,
because
yeah.
like I can dribble a basketball, and like if you never play, be like, wow, that's really good. And be like, yeah, I'm pretty average. Like,
Right,
if-
I know.
If you
So,
can
no.
dribble a basketball, what I'm doing, it's not crazy at all.
yeah, no. So the only reason I played soccer in high school was because it was like the first year of co-ed soccer, and they would just take anybody. So I don't even think I ever played in a game. I have no memory of playing in a game. I played just because they needed people. That's all.
Yeah, I
She was
remember
on the no roster.
remember no
Yeah.
cut rosters. We had a pee-wee baseball when you'd like hit it off the tee.
Mhm.
It was the worst. They should have just never had the season. I don't know why. 2 teams weren't
You
evenly
just
matched.
played each other
weren't
all the
evenly
time.
matched. Nope.
Right.
And luckily it was on the better team, but it was just I felt bad. You go up there every weekend. We'd beat these other 8 like 10 runs, and then just go home.
Right.
And then you have double headers, and you just play them twice. Beat
And nobody feels good about it.
No,
like
the parents
right.
they got their kids crying to the car because they have to come out here every weekend and get killed. I'm like, this is Pee Wee. We can't switch up the teams. Like, does anyone really
Right.
care?
You can't just pick new teams every week or
Yeah,
something.
It
I
was
don't know.
it was interesting, but yeah, I do love those. I remember those memories a lot. When everyone's just kicking each other's shins in early soccer games, and
Right.
everyone- it's just crowding the ball.
Yeah. I
Really
have a
good memories.
picture of a gnarly kick to the shin that I got one time in soccer.
Oh, I thought you were going to see that picture of you in your soccer uniform.
I do too. Yes.
So there's some proof.
I
that
know.
you're out there.
Yeah, I'll dig that up.
We do have a message on the stream from Becky Maratsky. Shout out to the marching band kids. They are athletes. UNL band is a state treasure.
Yeah, we're hoping
They
Ben
are
will play.
athletes.
I agree.
Yeah.
It was
Carrying
I
that
mean,
drum. We'd always like take turns, just like, oh, let me carry that. See how heavy
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Like, oh, this would suck.
They have to
It's
do
a
like
long
arm
time to carry
circle
that.
drills and stuff, and so like because Ben has to hold his trumpet almost the whole time. Like it is.
A few times
a
through the
mark.
parade, carrying the trombone just all
Yeah.
the way out there.
that
You
was
get-
me.
You'd
Oh,
be surprised you get
awesome.
tired.
Trombones are always in the front
Yep.
of the parade, right? You're in the front line.
They're actually they're entertaining to watch.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
something going on. You can see it instead
I
of just your fingers.
Don't understand how the how the trombone works. Like, how do you know when to stop and go? I don't know.
Because you know you got your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, right?
Yeah.
Third is right before the horn, fourth is right after. I mean, yeah. Once you do it, it's like anything.
it
Once
actually
you
is very
learn how to
simple.
do it,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know.
Well, you can hear it too. You can
yeah.
move it while you're playing it.
Yeah, you can hear the wow, wow, wow. Yeah. So you can't do that with the trumpet.
I know. It's crazy to me that Ben, there are things that he can do that I have no idea how to do. Like he can play the trumpet, can speak German. Like
He's been like a really
he's-
smart kid
Yes,
that I'm catching on.
he is.
'cause,
He's
like, the more
very
you talk
smart.
about him, he's got
Yeah.
some unique traits. I'm like, I
He's-
wasn't doing that.
yeah,
He's done 2 years of German.
he's going all 4
And
high
I don't
school years
know
of German.
5 words in German.
No.
Like he never talks about it. Like he's gonna
He's
be
just
in
doing it.
German. He's gonna be in his 3rd year of German in high school. And I've never heard him talk German at all.
I've heard
But
him.
he gets an A. Like, I
Yeah.
mean,
That's funny.
I
yeah.
know. So he
Shout
can
out
do
Ben.
stuff that I have no concept how to do.
So
Like,
Ben's getting his work done. It's
weird.
up to the Ravens.
I
Hold their
know.
end up.
No.
and the Orioles.
And
He's
the
a big
Orioles.
fan,
And the
which
Orioles.
he's
And they're doing it this year, so he's pretty
Yeah.
excited.
Good thing he didn't pick the Royals.
Yeah.
For his baseball team.
Yeah.
Nope, he didn't. But yeah, so that was fun. The other thing I really like about the marching band exhibition is they do this thing called a drill down. Have you ever heard of that? Do you know what that is?
Nope.
So they do it at competitions too, but basically it was to a metro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they and marching band director is calling out the moves. I don't know what it's called. What is it called? Like what they have to do next, like forward march, backward march, blah blah blah. And so anyway, it's an elimination, and so they have people out there and they're eliminating people as they make
that's
mistakes.
cool.
Yeah,
kind
Yeah.
of like Simon Says,
Yeah.
right? If
Right.
you move and Simon doesn't say, you're out. That's kind of what it is.
Like our
Yes.
Squid Game that won.
Yeah.
yeah,
Turn in the
Yes.
wrong direction.
you get tapped
You're
out.
Yes.
And so
yes.
that's always really stressful to watch, especially as like your child is still in it. And when Ben's freshman year, he was one of the last freshmen still in the drill down. So that was very stressful. And they do like it starts slow, not very many people get out faster and faster and faster. I can't remember, did Ben make it to like the 3rd round this
Yeah, I
time?
think he
Maybe.
got out in the
Yeah.
3rd round.
But it's intense. Like the last 5 kids, there was one, it was 4 girls and 1 boy, and the boy was just drenched in sweat.
Soaking wet.
They're not holding their instrument,
No,
but they're
they have-
pretending.
yeah.
They have to like hold up like they are holding their instruments. And there's the gal who won it. She's like wins all the time. She's a member of the color guard, and she won it again.
She's
So,
hardcore.
Yeah,
She's got it
it's
down.
really cool. It's fun to watch, and it's very because sometimes you see like, Ben messed up once, he didn't get caught, so you can also
Oh.
get away with it, you know. So
But towards the end, you're
yeah,
not gonna.
oh
get
yeah,
away
no,
with it.
you can't. It's really if you ever have a opportunity to go to a marching band competition, it's really cool. It's fun.
Definitely think bands want every kid to try.
Yeah, I think so too.
And you can find a way. If you don't want to play, I'll never forget. One of my friends, he didn't want to play like any of the instruments, so he's like, "I'll just bring my bass guitar."
Yeah,
just play bass guitar next to the trombones. Like it had no real place. He'd be like, "Well, I'll just sit by
Okay,
you."
so you guys didn't have like jazz band then, probably?
No, we were
Yeah.
too. Actually, I take it back. I don't. There was some extra band stuff you could do. I don't know if it was by the actual school or if it was just
Oh,
like student
right,
groups
for funsies or-
I can't remember, but yeah, there was some of that going on. We had a really good shout out. Pat said of it. She used to teach there, but she was a really kind of like underrated one that you get in those small schools.
Yeah,
that
I think a lot of those
underappreciated.
teachers are underappreciated. The choir teachers, band teachers, they do make a good impact on kids.
Now, one of my claim to fames is
Is this a long story because
No.
we have to go to break? Okay.
it's quick.
Over right now.
When I was band, our drummer, Milwaukee, was Joey Jordanson, who was the drummer of Slipknot.
No way.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a true
So-
story.
Could you guys tell like when he was playing
Oh,
the drums back
you-
there? You're like, this guy's insane.
At the competitions,
just go
solo.
up.
Here we go. Just oh yeah.
You just
So that was
bring it home.
kind of cool. Like yeah,
Yeah,
Joey
that's super
Jordanson
cool.
was.
That is very cool.
He was. I mean, he's not the drummer now. I don't think. Or
I'm
maybe,
pretty sure he passed away.
Oh, he passed away.
Still,
Yeah,
to
right.
have that opportunity.
But
yeah,
yes.
he's actually in that.
Yeah,
Tells you how
he's
good-
one of the beginning founding
That's right,
members.
he
of
did,
Slipknot.
yeah.
That was the world going over.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
All right.
Yeah,
Very good.
claim to fame. So
Okay.
we tore it up on the drum solo. Nobody was going to beat us back then. So, all right, we'll be right back on the Fitness Fanatics 93.7 The Ticket.
Sunday morning. It's quiet. Not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself, you slice yourself of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Some of those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, too sweet, nutty, not overly. The perfect treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
You deserve the best. With the Liberty First MasterCard, you can pay down your high rate debt and could save hundreds when you transfer the balance. The Liberty First Credit Union MasterCard has no balance transfer fees, no fees, and no annual fee. And with a fixed rate as low as 9.99% APR and you choose rewards, you'll be able to manage your card your way. Visit libertyfirstcu.com. Rates and terms are based on your credit and subject to change. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring your friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Join the judgment-free zone. Plans Thursday, August. See Home Club for details.
Our lives only have so much time. But if you smoke, you have less. Your life could be 10 years shorter. And the time you do have is often filled with health problems. Shortness of breath, asthma, COPD, and cancer. But the minute you quit, body's healing.
Oh, Nebraska Go Quine. 1-800-QUIT now. 800-784-8669. Paid for, tiered with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you're a veteran or know a veteran who's having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, the Veterans Crisis Line provides direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. Dial 988, then press 1, and you'll be connected to a trained crisis counselor who will listen, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. Thank you for your service. We owe you our support. Dial 988, then press 1. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket
every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online video show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 37 the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. 4 in the morning, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved ones.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and the Ticket.
Welcome back, Addicts. During the break, just looked on my memories on my phone, and 6 years ago today, I ran 15 miles without walking. I have no idea how I did that, but I was just on my memories.
Did it have your pace on there too?
Yeah, it was 11:41.
That's pretty good though.
Just
If you're
good for
not stopping,
15.
Yeah,
that's a long run.
Maybe I stopped whenever I trained for a marathon. I'd always train like I would walk wherever I knew the water stops were.
Yeah.
So it's like mile
Yeah.
1.5, 3. So I would go and then I could simulate actual race day. And training in 2017 is when I did the Bellingham Marathon, where I was pretty much setting my record pace, and I got lost. So and it kind of got derailed.
Mm-hmm.
So that
I don't have that on my memories.
well, I don't think you ran 15 miles.
No, I
It was
don't
me
think I
and-
did,
And
but-
Jennifer, a picture of us too.
I know. I
But-
see it. I was there because I was tagged in it, or I posted it. I posted the
Oh,
picture.
okay. But I was just bringing that because we did run this morning. We're both doing the Havesy coming up in November.
Yeah, are you running every Sunday now?
Yes.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
I just
Well,
started
it's 2 in a row now. That's what I was
Yeah.
wondering.
2 in a row.
Pretty long runs too.
Last week I ran for an hour, and then this week I decided to go. I was going to do an hour to see if I can improve my pace, run a little faster, and then I just decided to go 6 miles. But I did. My pace this week was about 40 seconds less per mile.
Oh, there you go.
Than
So you're
last
getting
week.
there.
Yeah.
So, just kind of goes to show, like, when you eat healthy and you train for stuff,
Wow,
like
what
you
a
get better. I
not
know.
surprising.
It is surprising, isn't it?
No, it's logical.
What's your biggest challenge for you when it comes to dieting? I want to ask both you guys this because
Mhm.
for me, it's always the vegetables, which is such a lazy thing because you can buy like
I know.
AG1 or you can buy all sorts of stuff that's like you literally scoop it in.
Yeah,
and
don't
you're
buy
done.
AG1, but yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's other ones you can buy that are better. Not
Okay, that's good
AG1.
to know.
Yeah. You're just paying for influencers to get paid to buy that. But
I had the exact same thing. Friday, I mixed it up. I had some chicken and some potatoes.
There you go.
Yeah.
But normally
you measured it out, you tracked it.
measured it out, and my 1 cup of mashed potatoes and weighed out my chicken and stuff. But it's for me, it's like not allowing, when I have a free day and I have, ice cream and stuff like that, that I don't allow the sugar to overtake my brain to get me to the next day. I'm like,
What
okay,
you think sugar is in your brain, but it doesn't matter because you believe it, and so that keeps you from eating too much sugar. So it really does. But I don't know what you think. Like sugar's like a ninja in your brain, like sabotaging.
well, I think it is.
I know. That's all that matters, is that you think that,
Yeah,
and it keeps you from.
That's right.
And real
eating
quick,
it.
before we do go to break here, the computer's just being slow right now, so we're back. But if it does like time out for a little bit, just give it time until we move downtown. We just need better equipment. That's just kind of where we are. So we're almost there, guys.
We're there. We're like a
almost
month
there.
away.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, the streams are going to sound 10 times better. Lighting, I'm not going to look like a ghost back here every
I
time
know.
I
I
turn the camera
thought
on me.
this would be better lighting. It's not.
It's
also
fluorescent.
bad.
Fluorescent bulbs. Good luck.
Yeah.
You're going to look pale.
Well, in about a month, like all of our listeners can actually come down and watch through the window.
Yeah, they can go get a coffee,
They
hang
can-
out.
Yes, they could come down,
Don't
get a
do
coffee.
that. I'm already easily distracted.
Because we'll be at the mill, right? The mill's going to be in there. Is that right?
I believe. Let me double check on
Okay.
that. I think that's. I'm pretty confident.
Okay. So yeah, you can come down, you can get a coffee, and you can watch like you're watching the Today Show.
Yeah.
We'll be out there for everybody to look at.
You could have seen Nicole hit herself in the head this morning.
Yeah.
if you were there.
You can bring signs. I mean, it'll be
Still
awesome.
hurts.
So hopefully we'll be up there. I mean, probably within a month or so, right? The goal.
Yeah.
is
And,
kind of
and
the
we
season.
should all be in there.
Fingers
A lot of
crossed.
that DP's been putting stuff up to social media.
Yeah, I've seen
Looks
that.
like it's mainly just the floors, and then once that's done, time to install the equipment. But it's chugging along nicely.
Whenever moving day is, I'm probably going to be out of town. So
I just got done moving. I'm ready to be done.
I mean, moving into the studio.
He's saying he's gonna be busy.
Yeah.
That's what he's
Good
saying.
call.
If we get the all hands on deck,
I'm waiting for the phone
email.
call. I know I'm gonna get
What
a phone
day it
call.
is?
Hey, what are you doing right now?
Yeah.
I'll have to plan some paints that day. Put some contracts out.
We don't need Jeff
Mm-hmm.
breaking things. You're not very good at moving. You break things. You like put real random stuff in boxes. It's a kind of
What
a
was it?
train
I
wreck.
had like one box where it said like pictures and dogs.
Yes.
We had our dogs have been cremated, so they're in boxes. And so when I packed up, I put the dogs' boxes.
Yeah.
They're ashes.
In a box.
I don't see a problem. Photos
It
with
said
loved ones go with the
pics
loved
and
Yeah, see?
dogs.
And dogs.
You
I
just
don't-
need
That was
you
funny.
just need to rename it loved one pieces. I don't know.
Yeah. Right. So you're just not the most organized mover. I don't think we need you involved. Otherwise, you may never find things again.
All right. Well, we're going to go to break. At the top of the hour, we do want some engagement with you guys. So we're going to talk about managing expectations. We have our 5-week testing coming up for the 10-week challengers. So we're going to talk about managing expectations and also how your goals change throughout your fitness journey. Okay. So if we have anybody out there that's been working out for a while and you're like, oh, I don't really know why I'm doing this, we're going to talk about that also. So please hit us up with questions. 402-464-5685. We'll be right back on the Fitness Fanatics.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, support that allow people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
The Ticket Water Cooler.
There were a lot of situations where all you needed was that kind of 2-minute drill.
That was it.
Nebraska never was able, under Scott Frost, really get one of those things going. The 2-minute drill and the ability to move productively, move the ball, has been a complete failure for Nebraska over the last few years. I think a big part of a successful quarterback that can move, and we know Jeff Sims can move, probably in a lot of situations.
A better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than just that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity and thankful for it.
A diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to school night is an important event. Plan to attend and help your child prepare for success. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Let's get our students off to a great start. Make back to school night a priority. You'll meet your child's education team, learn about volunteer opportunities, and what you can expect in the school year ahead. Help us make a bright new beginning for our students this year.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. By NHTSA and the Ad Council.
What happens when students come to school every day on time and ready to learn? They improve academically, become more responsible, manage their time well, and learn the value of education. Whether your child is starting preschool or preparing to graduate, support and a great attitude towards education is important. Help your child come to school every day ready to learn. Make this the best school year yet.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essick.
All right, we are back. Hour number 2 here on the Fitness Fanatics. We are sponsored by Integrative Life Choices. ILC is hiring direct support professionals all over the state of Nebraska, full-time, part-time, days, evenings, and weekends. If you're interested, you can apply at ilc.net/careers. Direct support professionals work to ensure a meaningful life for the people they support. They work to support people in achieving their hopes and dreams. So big shout out to ILC. We appreciate all their support on the Fitness Fanatics. All right. So this segment, we're going to get into managing expectations. We did have a text in from 8086 from a Texas number. We'll let this one slide in, even though this person's from Texas. It's okay.
Is it Callie, I wonder?
Oh, I don't know if it is or not. But anyway,
could be a Cornhusker in Texas.
Could be a Cornhusker in Texas. But so we'll let that one in. So this is pretty cool. It says progress is non-linear. Keep pounding the stone. Some days nothing happens. Some days it cracks a little bit more. Occasionally it splits wide open.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell you, for me personally, nobody ever really is there to hold us accountable.
Right.
Like we spend, all of our time holding or trying to hold other people accountable.
Your livelihoods are based on you guys staying accountable.
Right.
What do you mean?
It is.
Well,
but nobody's checking in on Jeff to make sure he gets his work.
No, it's all on
right.
you.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So sometimes, every now and then nutrition slips.
Mm-hmm.
I'll gain a little bit of weight, just kind of get into a place where it's like, and I think that's what makes us kind of good gym owners, is because I can relate to every single person. Like, I mean, with the struggles with food and you know, that type of thing. But we just started this fit challenge here a couple weeks ago, and it was funny because I logged my food for 3 days.
You talked about this last week, didn't you?
No.
Oh, is this a different story? Okay.
So, you know, then I'm like, I just don't know if this program works.
You definitely talked about this last
Okay.
week. I know.
I don't know
Yeah.
if Farrell's works for
Right.
3 days. I don't see any changes at all. Okay. That's what happens to people when they start something new. They don't give it enough time because we're in a society that we want instant gratifications. That's why you have all these quick fix things out there.
That's why social media is quick fix now too.
Yeah, social media can be a
If you
big
want to put a
part of
reel,
it.
60 seconds or
Right.
less.
Yeah.
It's got to be quick.
Yes.
Yes. So we're in that quick fix society.
Biggest loser mentality.
Mhm.
Yeah. But the thing is with you and just like being more aware of your nutrition, where you're focusing on the long-term result, like you're expecting the long-term result to happen instantly. Like you want
Most people are.
Yeah, but you too, 3 days in.
Well, I was just joking.
I know,
obviously.
but still. But you're expecting that, but what you're really missing and not focusing on, which you don't, it always comes back around. It came back around last Sunday when you woke up, is how much better you feel because you're eating, you know, you're eating on a better schedule.
Mhm.
The quality of the food that you're eating is better. Your workouts are being more consistent. Not that you don't work out because we teach, but it's not always the same, you know. So you're making time to like work out extra hard in the workouts and maybe take someone's class.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that a little more, but not like tomorrow I teach 3 times. So
Right.
I'm not going to teach 3 kickboxing classes and then take a 4th one.
No.
Because I'll be working out in at least 2 of those.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll work out in all 3 of them, but at least 2 of them I'll work out. So, but I am trying to teach less because I did take a couple classes. Friday I took Maggie's class at 4 a.m. I took Kelly's class, or who's that? I took it at 5 a.m. I think it was Kelly's class. Or no, Justin I took last Wednesday at Yankee Ridge. So I had never taken one of his classes. So I'm trying to get around and take our instructors' classes that I maybe haven't taken for a while. Because I like to work out with the members.
Yeah.
It's fun for me. But like I said, like tomorrow when I teach 3 times, I'm not going to. So anyway, so expectations, like for me in this fit challenge, yes, I'm more, and I've tried to tell people this too. You know, like I've done these challenges where I've gone all out, and then to get the best results that you can over this 8-week period. But this time I'm trying to do it a little bit differently, where I'm not really getting wrapped up on the number on the scale.
Yeah.
You know, after a couple weeks I was down 1.5% body fat, which is good.
Well, because you were doing this, so you know we do the 10-week challenges at Farrell's, but then we also will do we call fit challenge. That's what this is. It's like a shorter challenge to keep our fit members engaged. You kind of pay, you put money, like, you know, $40 to be in the challenge, and then we divvy that back out at the winner. So like it's not $1,000. Usually start training for the halvesy.
Yes, because Nicole and I are actually going to be having a competition to see who can run this
Just
halvesy.
between you two?
But yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
the fastest. So we're going to be, I'm not really sure who we're going to be partnering up with, but we want to do something where we're raising money for Thanksgiving meals for families. So we're going to have people like, you know, you go and who do you think's going to win? Jeff or Nicole, give a little donation, see who can raise the most, you know, so just something fun with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's coming. So that's kind of getting me. That's my long term.
And you do have a texter chime in here. 2467 says 8-week fit challenge. I'm hoping will kickstart results I'm looking for. And it definitely will. Just consistency. You guys preach about it all the time. Like it can. You just got to show up every day, and it'll happen slowly but surely. The first day is always the hardest.
Yeah.
You just got to keep showing up.
It takes time to build habits or to dismantle habits.
Yeah.
Probably more that's probably what it is more than that. Like talking to Pete in that first segment. can't talk, about how his sleep isn't the greatest. That's a habit that you definitely kind of have to dismantle and kind of build a new habit.
And if
in
you
its
show
place.
up like you said, it'll happen naturally.
Yes, yeah, because
You
you're
won't
going to
have a
be
hard time.
tired when you're supposed to be tired. If you continue to like tell yourself, if you want to be a morning person and you continue to tell yourself, well, I know I can go at a later class time, and you continue to hit that snooze button, you're never going to build that habit to become that morning person. So you either need to decide, okay, maybe I'm not that morning person, and then just commit to coming to the PM classes, which is what happened with you, Harrison, in your 10 weeks. Like, you wanted to be a 6 a.m.er. You wanted to think you could be a person that worked out first thing in the morning.
It's good. I don't need the sleep.
Right. Yeah. But then it didn't pan out. So then you started coming in the afternoon. So it's like, that's what we do. We, with our expectations of ourselves, we think we sign up for something, or you pay for a program, and you're just instantly going to become the person that will be successful. But that's not going to happen just because you paid for a program, just because you signed up for something. Like, you still have to make an effort to show up every day and build those habits. That's where social media is really tricky. I kind of get stuck like on TikTok sometimes, where anything that you can confirm any excuse on social media that you have, you know what I mean? So like, there's this hustle culture on social media that can be super toxic. Like,
Like, what is
no
it?
off days, or, like, or 75 hard can be toxic sometimes. That do you even know what 75 hard is?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I've never been on TikTok.
Well, that's not even just TikTok.
Like
That's
fitness influencer type
yes.
stuff? Okay.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you'll have some fitness influencers that are be like, no excuses. You have to show up every day. And then you'll have someone that will be like, well, sometimes you have to listen to your body, and rest days are okay. And, and you have to find where you fit into that, because
Yeah, there's a balance for
right.
sure.
There's definitely a balance, and you can talk yourself out of what you really want if you're continuing to be really easy on yourself about the things where all you really need to do is change a habit, and it will be easier. But then you get on you're tired, you didn't go to bed till midnight, and you have to be at the gym at 5 a.m. and you're tired, and you wake up, and then you see a TikTok that's like, it's okay. Sometimes you just need to prioritize sleep. Well, the reality is you should have prioritized sleep 5 hours ago. If
Yeah.
you would have gone to bed 2 hours earlier, like, get up, go to the workout, and then go to bed 2 hours earlier today. Like, you get to do this again every single day. You get to sleep. So you can talk yourself out of it, So that's where with social media, it can be really tricky but then again, if you're injured or something's happening, you shouldn't be super hard on yourself if you have to miss if you do miss a couple workouts.
Or if you have to do a workaround on a workout.
Yes.
Which you guys will often say, like,
Right.
hey, if this is hurting you, don't do it.
Yes,
Just
do
figure
something else.
out.
Yeah. And so you can really get stuck in that like ping pong of like, okay, I want to be that person. I want to be the person that says no excuses and shows up every day and goes 110%. But then the second you have to actually be that person, there's going to be someone else, a new influencer, telling you it's okay. Reward yourself, take a rest day, listen to your body. Well, that's where you have to manage those expectations. You can't expect to have 6-day-a-week results if you're only coming 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
right.
I just told this lady she's going to be starting.
Yeah.
Do you recommend coming 6 days? And I say, well, I tell our members, if you want 6 days a week results, you're going to come 6
Right.
days. If you want 3 days, you come 3 days. Everybody's different.
Sometimes 3 days is fine.
Yes.
Yes.
Everybody's a little different on what their goals are.
Yes.
But what we can't handle is when somebody complains
Or they're comparing themselves.
or they complain nothing's happening.
Right.
And we're like, okay, let's look at your food. Well, I'm not logging my food. Okay.
Right.
Well, I'm eating healthy. No, you don't really know if you're eating healthy.
Yeah.
Unless you log your food to know exactly what you're eating.
For any amount of time. You don't have to do it forever.
A lot of people, when they tell us that, oh, well, and they've ate 800 calories.
Yeah.
And so they're under eating.
Especially if you think you're eating healthy. If you're trying to eat healthy and you're not tracking that, you're going to be under eating. I almost every time.
Doesn't your body hold on to that as more fat when you're getting so little calories?
I
Or am I
mean-
wrong? Because I'm trying to figure out, because like I'd imagine if you're working out, putting a ton of exercise, if you're only getting 800 calories,
Right.
your body's like, we're holding on to that.
It's going to hold on to the body fat. You're going to lose muscle more
Yeah.
likely because muscle is more expensive metabolically. Like it costs more energy for your body to keep muscle. So if you're already not giving your body what it needs, it's going to get rid of the more metabolically expensive materials first. That's
Yeah.
muscle.
And then you hop on the scale and you see your muscle
Yeah.
mass went down and your body fat went up.
Right.
And you're like, I'm
Because
eating less.
we've
Yeah.
seen people that they've lost weight on the scale. So they get on, oh yeah, I lost 7 pounds. Then they get their body composition, body fat percentage goes up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the pounds of fat go up.
Or muscle goes down. You maybe
Yeah,
keep
well,
the
and
same
all-
amount of
like
body
all-
fat, but you lose muscle mass.
Yes.
Yeah.
So lose weight, but your body fat percentage goes up. And when we see that, we don't even really need to look at their food. I know exactly what's going on. They're just not eating enough protein, not
Right.
eating enough food, because we've been trained our entire life to eat less.
Yeah.
You want to lose weight?
Yeah.
Eat less. Sometimes that it works for short-term results, but we're looking for long-term sustainability.
Mhm.
So we could give people meal plans that are 1,000 calories, no carbs, to try to get them the best results we can get them over 10 weeks.
The fastest results.
Fastest results, so that
Yeah.
we can push this all out over social media. Look at this. Look at this. All of our members are losing 30, 40, 50 pounds. Well, we know of a gym, not here in Nebraska, but in Iowa, that, one of their things that they promote is like, okay, you join, you're going to lose 20 pounds in 6 weeks or you get your money back. Okay. So we've had friends that have done this. Well, they have to eat 6 tablespoons of coconut oil a day.
Just very unsustainable.
Unsustainable things. And we've had people that have done this lose 20-pound challenge in 6 weeks that have been taking baths to try to lose the extra 2 pounds at
Try
the
to
end.
sweat it out.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
it's like, how is that healthy?
Yeah, that's not sustainable.
But they can use it to market.
Right.
Oh, everybody loses 20 pounds in 6 weeks.
That's
Well,
the fitness industry.
when you
That's-
get into it, yeah, I don't want to be eating coconut oil every day to get these rapid results, right?
Yeah.
I want to be able to eat good, healthy food and still lose weight. It's like with Mark. He was eating 2,300, 2,400 calories a day, and he lost over 100 pounds.
Yeah, he's definitely one of your better marketing tools, just because in the sense like he did it and it wasn't a quick fix. Like he dedicated himself for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And that's how you get incredible results that are sustainable. Your body's like a stew. I think like a lot of people just kind of like it takes a long time.
It really
you got to
does.
work on that, and you got to keep doing that for a long time.
Especially if you want to keep it, if you want to keep those results.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if you look at a 6-month span, you could go on a crash diet and you can lose 30 pounds in 3 months, but then it's not sustainable. So then in the next 3 months, you gain that back. And in 6 months, you're right back where you started.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you would have started slower in a manageable way, and it takes you 6 months to lose the 30 pounds, you're still 30 pounds lighter in 6 months, where you lost and gained it back in 6 months by doing a crash diet that's not sustainable.
Yeah, you definitely got to find like kind of what your thing is, whether because we do have one from Facebook. Jeremy says AMers are a different breed. And they absolutely, everyone's different.
Yeah.
I always kind of laugh. I see kind of, it's like those social media motivational. I work out 3 a.m. Go for it. I do it at lunch break.
Yeah.
Get the same results. Like you don't have to be crazy over the top where you're waking up. So if you're not an AMer, that's a different breed. Like Jeremy says, like it doesn't matter when you get your workout in, as long as you get it in at some point. And then one more, 2467 asks, do you feel wristband monitors help for accountability? And have you seen results that justify the purchase? I have a Garmin watch that I'm not wearing right now, but I definitely do enjoy my workout. Just tracks my heart rate, all that small stuff, steps. It is kind of nice for my sleep too.
Mhm.
It's worth it for me. I guess everyone's kind of different. I definitely use the heart rate a lot. That's probably the biggest thing I need it for.
Well, and I know the texter's a member at Farrell's, so I could tell like we have a heart rate monitor tracker that we use that you see in the gym.
That's what's on the TV,
real
right?
time effort.
Okay.
So I'll go long stretches without wearing mine.
Infuriating.
But Nicole's worn hers every day for like 7 years.
Yeah,
okay?
so I think everyone's kind of different.
So I'll wear mine, then I won't, then I will. So when I'm
You'll lose it for 6
I'll
months.
lose it. But I'm wearing mine now, and I could just tell you, or tell our texter that for me, when I'm in a strength training class, I mean I'm not out there to get MEPs. It's called MyZone effort
And that's
points.
what they're referring to.
It's not
is
really
the
the
band that you have.
Yeah. But for kickboxing, I could tell you, it definitely makes me work harder.
Mm-hmm.
Why so?
Because when people know it's me, my name is Iowa Sucks. It's my screen name.
You got to get that up top.
And the reason I have that is because I'm friends on the MyZone with a lot of Iowa fans.
Oh yeah.
So when my thing comes up on their feed, they see that.
You'd think that
Iowa
would be
Sucks.
more of a motivator to wear it all the time.
Well,
so
we're
you're-
getting into football season now,
Okay.
so yes, now I like to wear that so they can see that when it reminds them every day.
That would make it hard. Hard.
But I know, like for me, in kickboxing class, I mean, people know who I am, so I don't want to be the lowest person there. So I will work a little harder. I've just noticed because I started wearing it last week, so August 1st, so I started wearing it because I can't start wearing it at the end of the month.
Yeah.
I mean, because it keeps track of
but
how
okay.
many effort points you get, and then there's like standings at the gym. So people will be like, oh, I want to try to get to the top 10 or top 5, so they'll do a little bit of extra work, bike ride or jogs outside of the gym to try to get their MyZone points up. So I don't want to be 20th on the board. I want to be like at the top, so it just makes me work a little harder and
Well, and in the moment, it helps too.
in the moment.
I'm not
yes.
competitive towards other people when I'm in class with MyZone. Some people are, but there's a lot of factors that can go into it. If you don't get enough sleep, like tomorrow, your first class that you teach, Jeff, your MEPs might be kind of low. Your heart rate might be kind of low because you're still recovering from your run today. So like there's things that can affect it. But what I like, it shows the percentage of your max heart rate in real time. So if I'm at 79%, I'm going to push myself a little harder to get into the 80, just for a burst of time.
What's the cost ballpark range?
So that's like about $100.
Oh, it's not too bad.
Yeah. For the ones that
I
we
feel like
sell.
most of those tracking ones are
Yeah.
100. My watch.
Well,
is
you
so
order them through
expensive.
Farrell's, you get a discount.
Yes.
If you go out
Yeah.
just on to look up MyZone, the MyZone 3, which you can wear on your wrist, your arm, or
Well,
your
it's
chest.
called the Switch. But
The
yes.
Switch. It's like $149. But you
Okay.
get a discount because Farrell's as a company, as a franchise
distributor.
Yeah, we're a distributor. for them,
But
so
the thing that I like about all trackers, I use MyZone when we got it in Iowa a long time ago. I didn't think I was really going to care about it, but I do like it. It's a good motivator for me. But the thing with trackers, MyZone, Garmin, Apple Watches, the best way to use those tools is to really be you versus you. Like, you'll see, and I don't know why I'm talking about influencers so much today, but you'll see influencers talk about like, you should get 10,000 steps a day. Well, if you have a really active job and you're like, our daughter works at Bryan and she gets 12,000 steps a day on a normal work shift because she's walking all day long. Well, 10,000 steps a day isn't a challenge for her. Like that's not adding to what she does. Or
That's her norm.
yeah. Or if you're sitting at a desk all day long and you're only getting 3,000 steps a day, trying to push yourself to 10,000 might not be realistic right away. So it's like you have to, first of all, get a baseline of what is like average for you. What's your average steps throughout your whole day, and then try to increase that. So like it's easy for me to get 10,000 steps a day on kickboxing days, especially. So I try to make my goal an average of 15,000 a day. Some days I get 20. Some days I went to bed last night, like maybe 300 short. From
I'm
15.
surprised you didn't walk around the block.
I'm trying to get better about it because it's an average.
'Cause you
So
don't
there
wanna
were
be
other days
obsessed.
I had like 23,000 steps one day. I don't know why, but so that's where you want to use those trackers. And like with MyZone too, it gives you a report at the end of each month and it tells you how many MEPs you earned, how many calories you burned, stuff like that. So it's like, if you can increase that, if you can just do better, beat yourself each month, that's progress. Like it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be training for something. You don't have to be training for a half marathon to see results. Like, it's you versus you. So I think that's what's important, that you're pushing yourself, but you don't have to overdo it. But like someone, if you work and you get, like I said, Katie gets 12,000 steps a day, 15,000 steps would be a good goal for her, because it's going to help she'll park a little farther away. She'll maybe go for a walk when she gets home. She'll, you'll do a little bit more. Like we were talking in the first segment, get that down, do that for a whole month, and then try to add 300-400 steps for the next month, and just gradually increase your activity. And that's just a great way to use those kind of tracking tools too.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are up against a break, so we'll keep this conversation going. Again, if you have any questions for us, please shoot those to us at 402-464-5685 on the Starter Heyman text line. We'll be right back on the Fitness Fanatics.
I heard you and Jack had a disagreement.
Yeah, he says I keep things from him.
What are you gonna do?
He loves the Nebraska Lottery Powerball First Millionaire of the Year promotion. So I'll buy a Powerball with Power Play and Double Play ticket before August 14th, and I could be 15 winners of $1,000. I'll also be entered for a chance to win a trip to New York City for New Year's Eve and a chance at $1 million.
$1,000? That should make him happy.
Depends.
On what?
If I decide to tell him I won.
Powerball top prize odds $192 million.
What are you doing, hon? I thought we were going to pick up our Powerball with Power Play and Double Play tickets.
Hold on, I have to sit through this video meeting for work.
Do they realize how big the Powerball jackpot is?
I know, but these blowhards keep rambling on.
I don't want to miss my chance to win millions of dollars.
Well, neither do I, but how do I get these win bags to speed it up?
Dave, you're not on mute.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Play Powerball from the Nebraska Lottery. Top prize $292 million.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe. And it's the best to protect the legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Donnie Nelson kind of was doing a little, backyard boogieing. Inside with Mark Cuban in the background. Moves are being done and things are happening to which you don't really know about. That seems to me what happened in this situation. Things were going on, conversations was being had at the highest levels, and you're not in on the party.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards Luncheon on October 6th in Lincoln. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Mario fue pintor más de 30 años. Cuando me dijo que se le estaban olvidando las cosas, fue difícil. Un día me dijeron que pintara el marco del lado por dentro y pinté el lado de afuera.
Yo le diría a la gente que le diga a su familia lo que está pasando con él.
Si algo se nota diferente, podría ser Alzheimer. Es momento de hablarlo. Visita alz.org/nuestras historias para saber más. Un mensaje de The Alzheimer's Association y The Ad Council.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. 4 a.m, my rang. Dad, I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action. Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association, this station.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back on the Fitness Fanatics. We're going to kind of keep this conversation going of expectations, but we also want to talk about your why.
Mhm.
Okay, so in your 20s.
Well, and it's good to have your why.
Yes.
Like it's good to have a reason why. That helps, like, connect you to your goals.
Mhm.
But your why should change as you get older. Like it can and should change.
Moving
Right.
goalposts.
Yeah. So I think sometimes in still talking about managing expectations where maybe you're telling yourself this is your why because it's always been your why. Maybe it was a number on the scale. I'm doing this because I want to see this number on the scale. Well, if you're not doing the work to meet that, maybe you just need to find a better why, a better anchor for what you're doing. And that should change as you get older. So go ahead, Jeff.
I was going to say, so for example,
Right.
your goals in your, like Harrison in his 20s.
Well, more aesthetic goals probably when you're in your 20s, right? I mean, this would be the time
You
if
mean
you
like
ever
a physical goal or
Yeah, like to look better,
Yeah.
aesthetic.
Yeah,
like,
get stronger.
if you
That's
ever
always been the
wanted
goal.
to have a six pack, the 20s is the time to do it.
Yeah.
Like you're running out of time.
Yeah, I got
I'm
there.
just
I
kidding.
got there once for the wrong reasons.
Right.
I remember this is how I actually knew I'd get in shape because I was like, I got a six pack.
Yeah.
And that's not muscle.
Right.
That's a skeleton walking around.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is an unhealthy
Yes.
six pack. Like it didn't look good. It's like, oh, you need to eat something.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
when I got really big into running, wasn't eating enough calories. And then, just was not strong.
Yeah.
So, like you said, moving goalposts. Now I'm at a point where it's like, I just want to tune up.
Yeah.
Now I quit running to such an extreme extent where now I just need to work out more and then run about where I'm at now.
Yeah, and just run because you enjoy running. Like it's how you like to do cardio. But so when you're in your 20s, maybe you're a little more aesthetic goal oriented. I mean, just in general.
You typically feel better.
Right. And you're young.
Mhm.
Like you don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming,
My knees
but-
aren't killing me yet.
Right. Yeah. Everything. Like you're sleeping great. Your metabolism is running the best it's ever going to run. So you can get away with more
Typically
in the kitchen.
low stress,
Less stress.
no kids.
Right.
Right. Those types of things.
Yeah. But as you get older, those reasons should probably change. Like your reason why when you started Farrell's, Jeff, was because you were denied life insurance. Now you don't wake up every single morning and think, oh my gosh, I better go do this. Otherwise I might not be able to support my family or whatever. Like you don't wake up with that hanging over your head now.
No.
Like your reasons why
Because I have it.
have changed. Right. Yeah. Like so now your reasons what are your reasons why now?
So my reasons why now is now that, you do it for your kids. Most people's reasons to be healthy should be for your children.
Yeah.
You should want to be around as long as you possibly can for your kids. Now, my reasons, maybe 5 years from now might be for my grandkids.
Right. Yeah.
So, but still, that's my reason. And, we've talked about how my dad passed away at 69 from a stroke.
Mm-hmm.
My grandpa was like 73. My uncle was 70, all of a stroke. Maybe in my future, it may not, but I want to try to do, and the older I get, I'm going to try to do everything I can so that's not my fate.
Yeah.
It might be my fate, but I'm just not going to be like, well, that's what's going to happen to me. So I might as well really not care. And,
I think that's cool because your kids see that too. That you guys at this age are still working out, and it's important to take care of your body. Because my dad, we talked about before, so I'm going into it, but I talked about it. He worked on the farm a lot, And that he always just preached. He's like, I don't want you guys to feel like I do.
Yeah.
And he was always really big on that. And I think that's kind of cool. And like, if you're a parent, it is actually important, not just like for yourself, but like set that example for those guys. Like, hey, when you get older, that's how much more important it is
Yeah.
to like stay on this healthy routine.
Well, and we just had that moment with our daughter. I had a conversation with her. So when we started Farrell's, when I started Farrell's, Ben was 6 months old. So like it's us being active has been part of his life, his whole life. And Katie too. I mean, she was 3,
Yeah,
but
so she-
right.
her whole life
And so, you know, we try not to push like diet culture on our kids by any means, like
Almost too young at that point.
right.
To be
Yeah.
really measuring everything.
Yeah. But yeah. So even as they've gotten older, Ben or Jeff won't know this reference, but there's this reference called an almond mom. Have you heard of that, Harrison?
yeah,
Okay.
never heard of it.
Yeah. So it's just on social media, they'll talk about it a lot, about like, oh, my almond mom on vacation. And it'll be like, you know, just that diet culture that we've all grew up with. Like I've talked about this before too. Like I know from growing up and hearing my mom talk bad about herself, like I know what she hated the most about her body from the way that she talked about herself. You know what I mean? And so I've tried not to do that with Katie. I've tried not to be that almond mom where you're just like, oh, I'm just going to have one bite, you know, of something
That makes
on
a lot- now,
vacation.
yeah, it's making a lot of sense,
Yes.
the name.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's diet culture. And that's how a lot of us were raised. You know, we were raised that way. Our generation, my generation. So I always tried really hard to fight that with Katie and Ben, and Katie especially, but it's important that they, you know, have a healthy relationship with food and movement too. But so growing up, we would always preach to them, like Ben and Katie took their lunch to school for a good portion of their elementary school years. And so we would always talk about balance and making sure they're eating protein and carbs and vegetables. And like that would be a part of their, you don't know this because you were working, but when I was a stay-at-home mom, this was like a thing. What?
No, nothing.
Oh, okay. So it was always like, what do you want for breakfast? And they'd want cereal. And I'm like, okay, well, you need to have some protein with that. And so
I was going to say, isn't cereal like, it's kind of funny. Isn't that like one of the worst things
yeah,
you can really have?
so
It's
it'll
just
be like part of a balanced diet.
dairy and
like,
sugar.
Yeah. So don't get me wrong. I love cereal.
Same
so
thing
I'm
with
not,
orange juice. Orange juice is a ton of sugar
It
too.
is, yeah.
Breakfast is kind of broken. So it's good that
It is.
you guys understand what you're
right.
doing.
And so it was funny because like they don't really talk about this anymore, but when we were growing up, they'd have commercials for cereal and it'd be like part of a balanced breakfast, and it'd be cereal, and then there's like 15 more items to make it a balanced breakfast. Like, so it was like not really, but so they'd want cereal, but we'd be like, well, you need to have protein too, because if you just eat just this Pop-Tart or whatever, you're going to be really hungry in an hour, and lunch is still going to be like 3 hours away. So we would say they'd have a boiled egg or they'd have something. So anyway, it's a long ways to say our daughter, who's 20 now, was at a music festival with her friends, and they're all in their 20s, not really a time where you're really focusing too much on whatever, like, you know, most women look back on their 20s and they see pictures of themselves and are like, oh, I thought I was fat then. I thought I was overweight then, you know, and you're just tiny. And so her friends, they would go out for breakfast, and like her friends would get like a half of a bagel, and they'd eat that. And Katie would be like, I'm gonna need to eat a whole meal.
Yeah,
She's
I'm
like,
getting eggs
right.
and bacon.
She's
Pancakes.
Like, yeah.
Let's get all of it.
I'm gonna be getting a
Yeah.
breakfast sandwich because I need protein. I need to have, you know, and she's 20 now. And I was just like such a proud mom moment of her being like, and not that her friends were not trying to shame her at all, but sometimes she does feel a little self-conscious about how much more food she eats than her friends. But like she recognizes that connection between like, we are eating this now, and then I don't know what the rest of our day is going to look like.
Yeah.
So I can't start my day on half of a bagel and then just wing it for the rest of the day and have to like not know what I'm going to be eating for the rest of the day. So like that was a really fun, proud mom moment, like where it stuck with our kids. Like she knows that she needs to eat like real food to kind of fuel herself. But
And we weren't raised that like, I don't ever remember my parents working out or
no,
I mean,
never.
never talk nutrition or
We were
I mean,
raised
just-
on like, I was raised on a lot of like government assistance food. So yeah, we had a lot of like processed food and stuff in our house. And my mom would make homemade food, but it would be still with like processed food, like Hamburger Helper. We'd have a lot of that, or, you know, so she'd make dinner, but it wouldn't be ever like a balanced meal necessarily.
And we did have that. Like we were the sit down at the table, and there'd be,
When you were a kid?
yeah,
Yeah.
there'd be, a potato, like pork chops, potatoes, corn, always a vegetable, milk. And I mean, so I had that, but
it was
wasn't
never
like,
with a conversation.
right. It's just
Yeah.
like, this is what it is. This is what we're eating. Cause
Like
that's
my
what,
table probably looked the same.
Yeah,
just
just
a big plate of fried chicken,
meat,
potatoes,
potato.
gravy. Here's a big thing of corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Serving size, whatever you could fit on your
Yeah.
plate.
Just, it's always a vegetable, a potato of some sort, and then a protein. So that's kind of how we
But
were
I
raised.
think that ties in because that was my why for a long time. So like I'm getting the return on my why. My kids were my why for a long time, and they still are, because you want to be healthy and be able to do stuff with them. And, so that was my why for a long time. So I got a really good investment on return on that investment of my why.
So
being
is
the
your
kids
why
and being
changing?
a good example. My why has changed a lot. So like, when I started Farrell's, my why was because I was a stay-at-home mom, and it's really hard. It's the hardest job I've ever done. Like, you were gone a lot on sales calls, and so it was just me and these two tiny humans, and that needed me all the time, and it was very mentally difficult. So when I started Farrell's, I started it with some friends, and that was my why of starting Farrell's was well, also because I would go up the stairs and be out of breath at like 27, and recognizing that's probably not a great direction to be going. And so for me, that when I started Farrell's, my why was to get out of the house and see my friends.
Have adult interaction.
Right. Yes. That was my why, really. And that saved me mentally. And then I kept going. And as I've gone through, that's changed a lot. About 5 or 6 years into our Farrell's journey, I had to have a surgery, and I was in the hospital for a couple days. There was a little bit of a complication with the surgery. It was supposed to be a really routine surgery, and there was a complication. I had to stay in the hospital, and neither of my parents could come visit me because they were just in such bad physical shape. Like, my mom has COPD. She's on oxygen all the time. My dad at the time had gout really bad from being an alcoholic, and like, they physically could not get to the hospital and walk from their car into the hospital to get to me. Like, that was too much of an effort for them.
Their health was
Yes.
deteriorated
Yes.
already.
Yeah. So that was such a wake-up call for me, because I don't ever want to be in a position, no matter how old my children are. I mean, as an adult, I was an adult when that happened, but
Yeah, in your 30s.
right. But I remember my mom calling, being like, I just really don't know if I can come visit you. She was calling, but it's like, I don't ever want to be in a position where if my children need me or are in a position where they're stuck somewhere, that I can't physically get to them. And that's kind of been my why for a long time since then. Like, that was kind of a big one for me. Like, your kids are always your kids. Doesn't matter if they're adults. Like, I want to be able to be there for them.
Maximize that window you have.
Right. Yeah. Yep. So that was a big one for me, for my why changing. And then just you build little things into that, like half marathons and how you can challenge yourself doing other things within it. But if you can anchor it to something big like that, it's going to make those sacrifices seem a little bit easier, and it's going to give you more of a long-term viewpoint on doing it for the right reasons and doing it for sustainability. Like, I'm not trying to be the smallest version of myself at all times. I just want to be able to go run 8 miles on a Sunday morning if I want to. I want to be able to like do stuff with our kids, and that's my why.
Well, sometimes we wait till like when we're young, it's like making deposits, so you don't have to deal with it later in life, because
Right.
you're like, oh, if I just would have done this when in my 30s, because we'll wait. It was like Pete said, well, I waited 3 months.
3 months. Yeah.
Well, some of us wait 20 years.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay,
You're trying to cram 20 years worth of effort into 10 weeks.
Right. Or into we have our
sustainable.
We have our 5-week testing coming up here. This week we're going to be doing weigh-ins, and we try to get our members to have realistic expectations. Like, we don't sell them the world when they start. I always just tell people, hey, a good 5-week weigh-in is when you lose more fat than weight on the scale. Because if you're doing that, that means you're following the nutrition plan.
You're
'Cause you're
building
not-
muscle.
Yes.
You're losing body fat.
Yes. Even if it's 1 pound, or people get on the scale and they'll have lost 5 pounds and they're just disappointed. And I'm like, if you lost 5 pounds every 5 weeks for an entire year, that's 60 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you've lost in a year. But we don't look at it like that. We look at short term. Well, this isn't working.
Not to mention the momentum they get. Like, yeah, it might just be 5 pounds, but like once you start going, I feel like that's when the momentum really takes over, and then it will be 60 pounds before the end of the year.
Yes.
You just got to keep going.
Yeah. Just don't stop. So
Brad did comment again. I appreciate all of your interaction today, Brad. He said that Captain Crunch with Fairlife Vanilla is a great combo, which is true, which I really wish Sam's Club would bring back their Fairlife Vanilla protein shakes, because I do enjoy frosted mini wheats with the Fairlife Vanilla Fairlife protein shake. It's really, really good.
And the
Good
reason
fiber.
it's a good combo is because it's so much protein.
Yeah, 30
in
grams
the
of
milk.
protein
Yes.
in that. You could use like a Premier protein shake too. Like you could use a protein shake and you put that instead of milk into your
It's just not the same as the Fairlife.
no, the Fairlife is the best.
So that's why, because it's just milk with not a lot of carbs and fat in there. So
Yeah.
it's more higher protein.
Mhm.
But
It's so good.
I've
It's
never
so good and
been down that road before when I have cereal.
I know
I'm still stuck on Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast
I
Crunch is
can't,
so
I can't,
good.
I
And
can't
now,
toss those. So good.
here's the thing though with cereal. Like, I like Honey Nut Cheerios. Okay, I will use that as a carbohydrate for me
In your meal plan.
in my meal plan. So, cereal's a lot of sugar, it's a lot of carbs. But when we're tracking our macros, we're not looking at sugar and potassium and sodium. We're looking at calories, carbs, fats, protein. So if you measure out your cereal, like I will do 1 cup of Honey Nut Cheerios, dump it in my bowl, 1 cup of milk, measured out, dump it in my bowl and eat it. That's actually not bad for you. What the cereal gets is we eat a whole box in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I would
right?
not. I could totally do that with Honey Nut Cheerios and measure that out and eat it and be satisfied. But if you measure out 1 cup of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, it's very sad. It's a
about
sad
5
amount.
Yeah. See, the problem is you put the cereal in the milk.
Yeah.
Then you eat your cereal. There's some milk left for me. Put
I
some
know.
more cereal in there. A little bit more milk left. You just keep topping it off.
So there's not
Cereal is a slippery slope for me. It kind of has to be an all or nothing. I can either
I have to put it away too.
Yeah.
I'll just
It's,
keep eating it.
But there's
that's why I do frosted mini wheats, because it's like it's filling. It
and
has-
I will eat, like, one of my favorite meals to eat is a little bowl with chips. Chips.
Doritos or
You
Fritos.
a gym owner?
Yeah.
Yeah. Doritos or Fritos, a little steak that I cook up, and queso. Oh, that sounds bad for you. That's people. Oh, that's
You
bad.
do eat it sometimes, and it is very
Right.
bad for you.
But when
Right.
I will weigh out my Fritos to get a serving and a half, I log it all. The queso's not bad when I have like 2-3 tablespoons of queso,
70 calories
and
for
you
2
log it
tablespoons
all.
of queso.
I'm like, I literally can eat that every single day.
Yeah, it's not as much.
It's
as
just now
portion control. It's not that much.
Yes.
when you're measuring out those Doritos,
You can't eat them as you're.
it's 18 Doritos, okay? Where normally you just eat half the bag in 10 minutes. So that's when it gets bad for you.
Yes.
But if you're measuring your portions,
Yeah,
there's not
you
a
can
lot of
eat a
stuff
lot
that
of
is
stuff.
bad. It's just
Right.
all portion control.
It is
So
portion control. That's
what-
why we say add, don't restrict. So yeah,
Yes.
have the Doritos, have the normal portion of it, add the healthy food.
because
to
that
it.
keeps my sanity.
Yeah, it
Like,
does.
if I'm just eating vegetables for a week, then when it comes to the weekend, I'll eat 20,000 calories because I'm just feel like I'm depriving myself.
All right, we gotta go to break.
All right, up against the break. We'll come back and wrap it up here on the Fitness Fanatics.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learn more about services at ilc.net. Integrated life choices.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job?
Not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters.
A mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner.
Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat. Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Bank Strong, and the Ad Council.
Yo fue pintor más de 30 años. Cuando me dijo que se le estaban olvidando las cosas, fue difícil. Un día me dijeron que pintara el marco del lado por dentro y pinté el lado de afuera.
Yo le diría a la gente que le diga a su familia lo que está pasando con él.
Si algo se nota diferente, podría ser Alzheimer. Es momento de hablarlo. Visita alz.org/nuestras historias para saber más. Un mensaje de Alzheimer's Association y the Ad Council.
Summer is over. It's time to settle into your back-to-school routine. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. As teachers, we're excited to see our students again. Parents, help your child. Set a time and a quiet place for homework and establish bedtime routines so your child will be rested and ready to learn. Help us make a bright new beginning for our students this year.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Hey, you got any gum?
Yeah, check my backpack.
What's this?
Oh, that's Naloxone. It can reverse an opioid overdose. I decided to always keep it on me after my friend almost died. It saved his life.
I'm so sorry. That makes me want to have it with me too.
You totally should. Check the pharmacy. It was actually really easy to get and it's easy to use.
I definitely will. Thanks.
Paid for by the CDC. Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
1 in 3 adults pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, with early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
The Ticket Water Cooler.
There were a lot of situations. All you needed was that kind of 2-minute drill. That was it. Nebraska never was able, under Scott Frost, really get one of those things going. The 2-minute drill and the ability to move productively, move the ball, has been a complete failure for Nebraska over the last few years. I think a big part of being successful in that is having a back that can move. And know Jeff Sims move, probably bail you out of a lot of situations.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Just got a couple minutes here. Usually when our guest is in the studio, we talk a little Husker football. So we're going to pretend we have a guest, and we're just going to finish up the show with a little Husker football talk. We're down to 25 days away till the first game against Minnesota. When does everybody at the Ticket start making their predictions? I haven't seen the board out there yet.
Yeah, no, we probably need to make the board.
Get it up there a couple weeks yet.
It's gonna be interesting to look at. Last year, that board was so far off. We all got burned. I'll be honest. Tickets predictions, they weren't close.
Why was everyone so optimistic last year?
I blame AD and Rap for my because I was
your influence.
Well, they asked me on the spot. No, Vershawn wasn't in here. It was just those.
Oh.
This is when they had riffing with Rap and AD at night, not the drive.
Okay.
Yeah. And they were talking about it and they're going through the schedule. And then before I knew it, they were at undefeated. And I was like, well, I'll throw one loss in there, thinking I was being cheeky, throwing one loss.
That's
So,
funny.
Yeah, 11-1 was not close.
Yeah, no, that was pretty ambitious.
Yeah, I got the hype really got me last year. I think part of me just wanted it to work so bad.
Yeah.
Because
I know,
another
we did.
rebuild just seemed like, how much longer can we keep rebuilding? But I'm pretty happy we got Rule. We got a professional in the building.
You
so it
know, I
feels better.
think what would be a good watch for us to go back. I might actually go watch this. Would be the 2019 Big 12 championship game between Rule and Lincoln Riley.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Baylor, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That would be a good game to watch because I know Baylor lost, but their starting quarterback was missed out for the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a backup.
Well, and it'll just be good to see his demeanor and everything, his coaching style on the sidelines.
Yeah, so that Rule versus Lincoln Riley was a thing in the Big 12, and now it's going to be kind of
that would be a good one.
Revved up again.
Watch
here.
that before get you kind of set up on what his style is like on the sidelines.
Yeah,
so it's not going to be anything like the NFL. NFL is just so different.
I know.
He's just like a college coach to me. Like I'm so happy he's back in college because that's really where he dominated. The NFL just it was such a tough slate too where he was. Like part of me like it's hard for me to blame so much of the NFL failure on him because I'm like if you're going to take over a team like that's a tough first gig.
Well, and if you don't have a good quarterback,
good
it's
luck.
Tough to be it.
Well, and he's doing so much with like team building and stuff.
Yeah,
it seems like college kids is a better niche for him for sure because he does. It's been really fun watching the student athletes posting the stuff from the dorms. Yeah, that's been really fun to watch the stuff that they're doing.
Oh, then you
really
get
cool.
people that are like, "Oh, this is a 4-8 team. No wonder we're 4-8."
Oh,
I know.
It's classic.
Yeah.
It's just hard to read some of the
I like when
comments.
McGuire was in there and they pranking him when he walked in the dorm. I'm like, you look like you're on a team still.
Yeah.
Like,
McGuire.
they're pranking coach, and I'm like, you just look like a player. I could see how you're probably one of their favorite guys to mess with.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't seen the BTN, I think I'm gonna try to watch every team.
Oh,
it was a really good show.
Yeah, it was cool.
They're gonna be. I think the next one they're doing is Minnesota.
That'd be a good one.
So you get a little intel, inside
Row the boat.
information. That yeah. So it was just done really good. And first time I've tried not to listen to like the press conferences after practice, just because
a lot of coach speak
that gets you Kool-Aid drinking too.
There was some good stuff in there though. Did you hear about Gifford?
But what that uses playing safety or
Van apparently just an out there because the Farmers situation. I wonder if that had to play in part of it too for him. Was like I wonder if Gifford was just that good. And
I don't know
because you get a new coach, like not everyone can obviously stay in the same spot, but you'd imagine Farmer. But I'm just kind of curious how that all works out. Farmer's gonna be good regardless. I mean, he's such a good player. I'm not worried about his career, but now I'm excited to see this 3-3-5. Gifford sounds like, and defense always clicks faster than the offense. So I feel like we'll see that defense firing off right away. Maybe the offense takes a little while to get going, but versus Minnesota, you don't necessarily need to score 30-some points. Hopefully not.
I'll tell you, I'm going to be a bundle of nerves come August 31st. Like I'm already just sick about it.
Do you have a record?
Huh?
Do you have like a record in your head that you don't have to announce it, but I'm just curious.
No, I'm not really.
Not really.
I'm like Rule. I just want people to respect us again.
I like it.
Get no wins or losses. Get the respect, then you get the fear. So
it's true.
All right. Well, I'm going to be flying solo. Nicole won't be here next week, but a little teaser. We're going to have our very first Iowa Hawkeye fan joining the show in studio in enemy territory next Sunday, 9 a.m. to 11 on the Fitness Fanatics. We'll see you then. Don't miss it.